All right. It's that time of the year. The leaves are changing colors. But we go fast every time of year. But welcome to the time of year where we go fast. Well, the leaves are changing colors. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fastest First Fall Fest 2024 schedule reveal. We have already revealed the games list earlier this week, but we did not reveal what times each run would be. So this is your opportunity to learn when you'll be running if you have a game in, or if you're just looking for games to watch, what time the games you're looking for are going to be at. So for those of you that are new here, we can talk a little bit about ourselves. We've been running charity events for 5 years now, and this one is going to be a bit different for those of us that are used to us for a while, because it's going to be a bit of a hybrid of something we've done in the past and of two different styles of marathon we've run, pretty much. We will be running from Thursday to Sunday, November 21st to November 24th this year, except it will not be entirely nonstop. On Thursday and Friday, we will be running from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., and then on Saturday, 10 a.m., we will start, and we will not stop until the end of the event at Sunday around 11 p.m. So this allows us to have the most amount of hours we've ever had in one event, and the most amount of games we've also had in one event. So I'm super excited for this one. On the right, you can also see our socials. Something to note is that we have primarily started using Blue Sky more than we have Twitter. So if you haven't made an account there, we absolutely recommend it, because it is probably the new best way to keep up with us, excluding the Discord, which is always going to be the best way to keep up with us. But if you want to keep track of us on socials, that's the best way to do it. And for the event, it's also important to denote not only the fact that we are raising money, but who we're doing it for. And for Fall Fest, we're returning to Trans Lifeline. They've been amazing to work with pretty much the entire time. And we're glad to be doing it again. They still have a very impressive and beautiful track record of helping the trans community get the support they need. And it's a great cause that we love to support. So we're glad to do it again. But we are not alone this time. We do have some people helping us do what we do. First off, we'd like to give a shout out to Timberwolf Trading, who runs custom printing for merchandise such as shirts and stickers, who we've partnered with before and we will be partnering with again to provide Fall Fest special shirts for you. That we will have more details on them soon. However, if you want to check out their site completely independently, you can, timberwolftrading.ca, and we're very happy to be working with them again because they've been great in the past. Also helping with us is a very fun announcement. For the last 2 years, we have run a spring event at Furry Weekend Atlanta, and we will be back next year. They've been great, helping us spread the words for ourselves and giving us a space to show speedrunning to the wider community. So we're super glad to be able to be there once again. Registration for their hotels will be open November 1st, noon Eastern time. So if you want to go to the event, please do that. The sooner you get your registration and your hotel booking done, the less painful it's going to be when you try and do it later and all of the rooms are mostly taken, and it'll be scary. So the sooner the better, generally. And last but most certainly not least, we do have somebody who we are brand new to working with, but we're really excited to share with you. We will be working with Dragon Roast Coffee, a fantasy and gaming themed coffee roastery that aims to make getting into coffee really easy, and also those who already enjoy it find something they really like. They're a great brand for the nerds, which I would say playing a video game a lot is pretty nerdy, that brews really high quality coffee very consistently, and they make a lot of great stuff. So we're really happy to partner with them and work with them with this event. And you can go to their website, dragonroast.coffee, to learn more.
Yeah, and they're going to be donating a portion of all the sales during the marathon to Trans Lifeline as well, so that's really exciting. And I will just say, if you're not a coffee person, you like beans, I bet.
Yeah. That's something I did forget to mention. Proceeds from Dragon Roast coffee sales as well as Timberwolf trading for event-related things will all go to Trans Lifeline. So you will be supporting the charity while also supporting them.
Or if you're like me, supporting your crippling caffeine addiction.
Yeah. Speaking of support, if you are running in the event, you can help us with that too, simply by spreading the word. If you have a run in the event and you would like to promote it, you can, over the course of the next few weeks, make us a small video showing us what your run is like or just talking about what you like about it. And we will be posting that on our social media page leading up to the event. So it's a great way to either get the word out to some more people or show the community why you think your run is really cool, which all of these runs are really cool. So if it's something, it's just a small little thing you can do, not required if you want to participate, but it's just a really fun little way to engage with the community and get some more hype for the event drumming up. So,
Lori, if you don't mind, I said this in chat, but if you do partake in this,
yep,
sorry,
it's okay. What I would just say is we will provide full details to the runners on how to do these promo videos after the stream.
Yeah, this is something that this isn't going to be the only word about this. We'll give you more details if you're interested, and even if you just like ask, we'll get you more details. So, if it seems exciting, please go ahead and do that. Also, in terms of fun, exciting things to bring more excitement to the event, we are going to be having another grand prize at FWA. We had the OLED Nintendo Switch. This year we have a 512 gigabyte LCD Steam Deck as a grand prize, but that is not going to be the only prize we have at this event, because if anybody wants to submit their own prize, you can go ahead and do that on our website. We still have submissions open for you to throw in your own prizes that people who donate to the event will be eligible to win. And those have been things in the past from either like an artist giving away a commission slot, or somebody giving away Steam codes of a game on the schedule, or someone giving away some stickers that they have. It doesn't have to be anything big. And the grand prize denotation of the Steam Deck, it does not have to be the same scale, because that is already a lot of money, and we don't want you to have to make a $500 product for us. But we of course appreciate anything you do. So with that, we also want to shout out, I mentioned artists that have made commission slots for us. We've had artists in the past that have made art based on the event and games on the schedule. We have a bigger team than ever this year for artists. So please, if you see them, give them a shout out for their work. Make sure you repost their art wherever you can to get the word out, not just of the event, but also of the amazing work that these artists do. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that artists carry the furry community on their back, but like they're kind of really important, and we love to share the work that they do for us. So thank you all so much. And with that, it is finally time to get into the games themselves. So this event has a lot going on, as you can tell by a lot of preamble, but the most important thing above all else is the games that we will be playing. So day one, Thursday, as I mentioned, we will be running Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday, with 8 hours of break before the stream goes back live once the first day is over. So joining me to talk about Thursday's games, I have Blaze. Hi, Blaze.
Hey.
You've already said a few words, but I have also said a lot of words. So why don't you go ahead and talk about our first game here?
Yeah, so we're going to be opening strong. We've got a really exciting run of Jet Set Radio Future that is going to kick us off on Thursday. This should be a really good way to kind of get everybody settled in. It's a nice, quick game with a lot of fun movement and a lot of good... if you were a gamer of a certain age like I am, then you probably enjoyed Jet Set Radio Future back in the day, or just games like this. So,
mm-hmm. And moving on, we have Anomaly Collapse, which is one of my favorite parts of putting together a games list and a schedule is hearing about games that I hadn't that look really good. And this is one of them. It's a roguelite tactical RPG with, as you might be able to see, a very furry cast. And Ferric Fox will be running through it with a bid war for the starting character choice. So if you really like your quick thinking, big brain gameplay, this is definitely a game to be looking for. And I'm super excited to have this. Again, I love learning about new games from making games lists, and this is one of them that stuck out to me a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Ferric, I'm fairly biased because Ferric is my partner, but I know he has worked really hard on this run and is excited to show it off, so that'll be great.
And Blaze, you want to talk about this?
Well, yeah, we're going to be interviewing the charity again because it's really important, we feel, to let you hear directly from the charity themselves, not just through us and, through our kind of translated messages and things like that. But yeah, we'll have Steph from Trans Lifeline joining us once again, and we'll have a nice chat with her. And she's going to tell us all about all of the, when we donate to Trans Lifeline, what that does and all of the exciting things that they're up to these days.
And after that, we'll have a run of Lunistis, a run that, funnily, admittedly, we were surprised we hadn't had this game yet, because it seems like such a perfect fit, and it really is. Drake will be taking us through a very, very fast-paced 3D platformer with a really fun art style and really just fun all around, as well as with a bid war for the skin choice for the main character, Hannah. So, yeah, this is a run if you love just really fast games in general, somewhat Sonic-inspired, but not entirely, I believe. There's a lot of other inspirations around there. But if you love just breakneck speed, this is absolutely going to be one of those games. And speaking of the blue hedgehog that loves to go fast, up next we have Sonic and Knuckles from the Sonic Origins collection playing as Amy and Tails, the two characters not in the name of the game.
So Sonic and Knuckles and Amy and Tails, everybody, just in case you're keeping score.
Yeah, that is a lot of characters. But this run is really interesting. In New Game Plus, you already have access to all the Chaos Emeralds, or it might be the Master Emeralds in this game. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it means that we will be seeing a lot of Super Amy. So that's not a sight you see a lot, because you couldn't play as her in Classic Sonic. But it's a very unique thing to see kind of finally in an official Sonic game. And Snowball's done a lot of great work for us before, and this is bound to be another one of those great runs. But Blaze, we're not quite off the Sega train yet, are we?
No, we're not. And in fact, we actually had so many awesome Sonic submissions this time that we kind of had to split it into a Sonic block and a little bit of like a Sega block. So the next game in the Sega block is going to be, is it Rystar or Restar?
I think Rystar.
Yeah. So this is from Mackie. This is going to be a really exciting run. I wasn't particularly familiar with this game. I wasn't a Sega kid growing up. But this is a really cool run. It has a lot of the kind of flash and fun speed running energy that you get from a lot of the classic Sega games. And this is also going to be our first run that has I would call a major incentive where we're going to have a category upgrade. So it's going to start on hard any %, and then we will potentially be putting Mackie up to super hard for the difficulty. So
yes, and for context, super hard grants you infinite continues, but with 1 HP and 1 life. So it's
we're going to be donating to punish the runner. Got it.
Well, isn't that what every incentive is?
In a lot of cases, yes.
All right. Well, moving from a game that is potentially punishing the first time you play it, but not at all a punishment, we have Hotline Miami with Jackal, a game of pure flash, pure just good looks, and don't worry about the story. We don't have to reflect on that one. It's really good, though. Jackal has taken us through this game once before a long time ago, so we're super excited to have it back with all masks. So you're going to see a bit more than just getting to the end of the level. You're going to see some collection there, and it's bound to be a very exciting run. But Sometimes we don't like collection. Sometimes we like destruction, and that's what we have Twisted Metal for. Um, this game is a lot of fun. We had a different Twisted Metal game with Fiendly, I believe, last year, and the game is just a rush. Quite frankly, it looks like it would fill me with adrenaline if I played it myself.
This is another one of those games too that just so many people have nostalgia for, like the Twisted Metal series, and Fiendly does an amazing job showcasing that and kind of capturing a lot of that fun energy. So we're really glad that Fiendly submitted another Twisted Metal, and we're happy to show it off on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. And moving kind of into the more afternoon parts of the day, we do have Touhou Hidden Star in 4 Seasons. One of the more modern ones we figured out, because this series does have a lot of history, and it can be hard to track at times, but this one is a really fun-looking game. Obviously, all the Touhou games have a lot of things on screen, and the ability to navigate it like really strong is something that Ephraim has shown us a few times on the channel before, and will be getting to do it again. Super excited for this one, and yeah, these are just games that are always like impressive, even if you do or don't know what's going on. So I'm super excited to have this. And
I'm glad we got our quota of bullet hell shmup kind of action for everybody, because these games are always so cool to watch.
And you want to know another thing we got our quota of?
What?
Pegging.
No.
I'm super excited for this run. Peggle
And
Deluxe.
I'm dead.
Aw. We'll see you soon. Peggle is the classic throw balls at other balls game that everybody loves. It really is just like the perfect game of like super simple concept done pretty much perfectly. And Mannequin Z will be treating us to a very, very skilled run of not only the standard Peggle Deluxe, but if you donate for it, the World of Warcraft edition of Peggle, an official, real crossover. That's not like a base.
Yes.
It's real.
We are going to be exploring the whole Peggleverse.
Yeah. I still I learned this is another thing I learned about from it being submitted, and I still can't believe it. Peggle World of Warcraft, but moving on from a game with a very fun art style to a very serious one that still stands out, we have Limey with Rakugaki, a stylish graffiti platformer in which we will be seeing New Game Plus, so a lot of movement abilities right from the start, and half graffiti, which means about half the major collectible from each stage will be collected. So it's a good way to show off maybe some hidden paths without having to do some of the more difficult or frustrating secrets. It's a good mix there of great movement, good secret finding, overall just a lot of fun things. And yeah, as someone's mentioning in chat, it removes the collectible barriers is the big thing. So there's no restrictions. It's just getting to the level as fast as cool as we can, still showing off some neat stuff. It's a super fun run. I can't wait for it. And Blaze, I'm gonna throw this next one to you.
All right, yeah, so we're really getting into like the heart of the Thursday night schedule, and we are going to be bringing up next someone who has done a lot of speedruns. I think this is their first run for us, but Wesley has been on GDQ several times and runs a lot of really interesting games like this. And we're going to be seeing Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion. The funny thing about this submission was, I believe Wesley originally submitted this as a character bid war, and we just liked the Raptor run so much, we just took that one. Because we were just like, the movement is so cool. It's just really, really neat. So we're going to be bringing that to y'all pretty much during prime time on Thursday night, kicking off just a really good string of like kind of classic action type games. So...
Right, and speaking of action, we are not quite done with action, are we?
Nope. This is going to lead into one of our returning community favorite speedrunners, Zello, who's going to be bringing us Doom 64. This will be a really adrenaline-filled run, a lot of fun, and then we'll have an incentive to, as we were saying, a lot of fun, play the fun levels. I don't know if the fun is supposed to be in air quotes or not, but we can get some extra Doom with donations to Trans Lifeline, so that'll be great.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Zello's shown us a lot of rhythm-based game in the past, but this one is quite different. But Blaze, you're not quite done yet because we need to talk about a game that you're pretty familiar with this one.
Actually, I'm not that familiar with this one. But Shockwave, one of our who's actually producing the schedule reveal today, has run Gunfire Reborn before. And we're gonna have our only co-op. Well, yeah, I think this is our only co-op run of the marathon. And I'm really excited for both of these runners because I know they've worked really hard and wanted to be a part of the marathon for a while. So Solus and Blake will be bringing us a 2-player co-op run of Gunfire Reborn. Should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing like their teamwork and chatter and just kind of like how they get through the challenges that get put in front of them. So
Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. And Blaze, I clearly knew you knew a lot about this game, so I'm gonna make another good prediction and say, you know nothing about this game that's being run by Moonblaze Wolf, do you?
I absolutely know nothing. Final Fantasy. I have heard of it. I think it's a Magic card set that's coming out later this year or next year. But no, in all seriousness, Final Fantasy 16, I'm really excited to show this run off. Final Fantasy 16 has been kind of like my speedrunning obsession in a lot of ways this year. It is my favorite Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy 10, so for those of you who are like, oh, that's not that long ago, Final Fantasy 10 came out in 2001. So I think this is the best Final Fantasy game in over 20 years, not counting 14, which I'm sure I don't want to start something. So we'll just say the non-MMO Final Fantasies. And the DLC is really cool because it is a really good slice of what the whole game has to offer. So we're going to do some really cool combat, some really cool movement, and we're going to do a big fight with Leviathan in this run. So also, I'm going to have an incentive to pet Torgal. Torgal is the wolf companion for Final Fantasy 16, and should be good.
All right, yeah, I'm super excited for this one. This game does look really great. I haven't played much Final Fantasy, but it looks like a lot of fun.
It's more of an action game. So if you're one of those people like me that like really sucks at Elden Ring, Final Fantasy 16 is a great game for you.
I would probably suck at Elden Ring, but going on to a game I have played before and I do know I suck at, but sucking at it is kind of what's fun about it. It's Lethal Company. This is a game that I'm surprised hasn't taken more events by storm, but we got a great showcase of it. Chokomuffin's going to be playing 6 quota solo for us, so you're going to be seeing a lot of high stakes scrap collecting, maybe a funny death or two. Hopefully it will be not a funny death and more a funny near death scenarios, I guess you could say. But the game is bound to be entertaining, because it's the type of game, Chaco has shown a lot of prowess in how to collect scrap fast and safely. So maybe it'll be educational even, who knows? The game is still getting updated constantly by a solo furry dev, so it seems like the perfect fit to join for the event. And
I can't wait to see this. I mean, this is the game that everybody is popping off about, and I'm so excited that we get to show this off. Chokomuffin is the world record holder for this run, and it's going to be so cool. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, we have one more game for our first stretch of the event. And if you thought Lethal Company, that was a game for Infamous, for being a game where you die a lot, we have Rain World Downpour, a game that is infamous for hating you, the player, but a game that is also a blast to uncover. Iced is going to be showing us through Saints campaign, who I believe is very late in the timeline and therefore very different from 2 years ago when Iced showed us the vanilla game campaign of Hunter. So It's a game all about exploration, a lot of really interesting movement and like physics interactions through a world full of creatures that want to destroy you. And if we raise them enough money, we will also be seeing the true story ending of this campaign. So please tune in for this one. This game is really great, and I can't recommend it enough as also a great way to end off day one and move into our second day of the event here. So yeah, that's only 17 games so far out of 60. So I don't know what to tell y'all. This event is going to be amazing. And here to talk about how amazing Friday is going to be, hello, Oasis. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Good. Are you excited to talk about some games?
I am very excited to bring forward some wonderful Friday action for all of you. First off, we're going to be starting with Sega Rally 2, a run by Peppercorn Yeen in the 10-year championship category. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, racing is always a fun genre because it's a game all about going fast, but
yeah.
you don't always see it.
Yeah.
In events like this.
Yeah, it's really a shame because there's a lot of really neat tricks that you can do in various racing games, especially this one. And I'm really glad we got to get this one in. Do you hear any meowing anywhere? It's
no.
maybe it's on the next slide. Let's see. Let's see.
Maybe because we're going from a racing game to a skating game. We have Hello Kitty Roller Rescue. Yeah, a roller skating platformer with Hello Kitty saving the town, saving the day. Just a really solid 3D platformer that we have not had in a very long time, and we're super excited to have Linkemeister show off again with a bid war between two different characters. So for you Sanrio fans, you've got an option, you've got a decision to make rather, and regardless of what you pick, the run will be great. So keep your eyes peeled for this one. And moving on from that, we have golf.
Now, usually, I am not a very big fan of golf in the real world, but I'm a huge fan of golf in the digital world, so I'm really glad we got a golf submission in here. And you're going to watch Ulven do all worlds, and it's going to be a very, very fun time. Hashtag give golf a chance.
Give golf a chance. This is a really fun run. Ulven has thrown a lot of interesting golf games before, but this one is pretty traditional from the understanding I got watching the run. It's just no nonsense good golf. So if you like watching physics interact, I mean that's golf. That's golf.
Yeah.
And if you like watching your brain get confused, we have I'm Going to Die If I Don't Eat Sushi. Going from what I described as a more normal golf game to probably one of the least normal games on the whole schedule. Welcome to our silly games block. MK Cyborg is going to die if he does not eat sushi.
So we're going to make sure he eats lots of sushi.
He's going to eat a lot of sushi.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that is really remarkable about this year being on the games committee is that we've actually accepted a lot of runs from people who we haven't really had runs from before. And that's a really cool and really neat thing. And I know that I'm talking about new runners. This runner is definitely not a new runner, is it, Lori?
No.
It's Placentia. He's
not
going to
new.
be playing Spider Fox. And Go ahead.
What do I say about this game? Look at that guy.
It's very cute, and there's going to be a bid war between the spider and the ladybug for people who are not fans of spiders. Definitely vote for that ladybug, but if you don't mind them, go ahead and vote for that spooter.
Yeah, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. We'll go with
I
that.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, this run is a really fun 3D collectathon type deal. There's a lot of really fun spider movement. If you like your web slinging, you have it in this run. So make sure you stay tuned for that because Brossentia is giving us a treat. And
he's truly living up to the reputation of playing all these silly games, and this is definitely no exception.
Absolutely. Now, moving on, we do still have a silly game, but maybe a bit less cursed if you're worried about this one. We have a game that's just generally kind of cute. We have 50 Pinch Barrage by Mooware. This is a super fun, short but sweet 2D platforming challenge game with a mechanic where you kind of have to manage your stamina in order to not stop moving, which makes the run really complex because if you just do one tiny thing wrong, you can have to restart the whole stage. So it's a really, again, short but sweet is the name of the game with this one. And so if you just like strong, solid platformers, this is definitely going to run about... this is definitely going to be a run that you're going to want to pay attention to. Because this game is... It just looks really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely really neat. And you know what's also neat? The very next game, which is actually by one of those new submitters. We're playing Rhythm Doctor, and it's being run by Certo Skunk.
Yeah, so Rhythm Doctor is a one-button rhythm game, if you're familiar with the Rhythm Heaven series, where it's all focused usually on one button, although that game has two. This game takes a really interesting premise, where the general action of the game takes place on the 7th beat of the song, which is probably a part of a song that you haven't thought about much, but it makes this a very brain-heavy game for considering it only has one button. And there is a dog level. You can donate and we will play the dog level.
Heck yeah. We gotta play the dog level, chat. We gotta play it. Donate for it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this game is really cool because it's a rhythm game that, like, it's so complex for one button. It really keeps you on your toes. And speaking of games that keep you on your toes, this game does have a dog level. What is a bear if not a really big dog?
That's true. That's very, very true. But that's why we have Tekken 8.
Yeah, Tekken 8 is obviously the most recent entry in one of the most iconic fighting game series of all time, which we've never had much fighting games. A lot of fighting games have really short but cool speedruns, and Tekken 8 is definitely one of them. Tekken 8 is a game with style. If you don't know much about Tekken, the game absolutely makes you feel the impact of your hits. Every time you get a good hit on someone, you can definitely feel it. So a run like this with Sumo Wolf absolutely tearing through arcade opponents like it's nothing will just absolutely be satisfying to watch, and we absolutely recommend you check this one. I'm saying absolutely a lot. This is absolutely a great game.
It really is, and I honestly don't really remember us having any FGC submissions in the past, so this is going to be a nice treat for people who aren't really familiar with that kind of speedrunning.
Mm-hmm. But then after this game, we do move on to a type of speedrun we are absolutely familiar with on this channel, and that is the 3D Sonic. We do have Sonic Heroes with Focus Sight here, showing us Team Chaotix, which is one of my favorite kind of character campaigns in a Sonic game, where you do have normal Sonic levels, but each level in Team Chaotix comes with like a mission that you have to complete outside of just beating the stage. So it becomes a really different run, even though it's in like the exact same levels as a standard Sonic game. You have to do things like collect enough rings or find small hermit crabs on the beach scattered around the level. I think a lot of people are frustrated with that one, but it's just a really unique way to experience a Sonic game. But we're super excited to have this one. And limited tech selection. This game has a lot of really cool glitches and tech to it. And even, like, it's just going to be a ride that we definitely hope you enjoy.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to this first game in the Sonic block. And I'm also very much looking forward to the next game in the Sonic block as well, which is Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, which I know some of you are going to say we've had this already, but no, we haven't technically, because we're going to be playing through all the small stories. Basically, all the stuff that we wouldn't be doing as Sonic or Tails. Pretty much.
We do have Knuckles, Amy, and Gamma here with an incentive to play Big the Cat, which all of us love Big the Cat. But this is a really cool run. I love Sonic Adventure for the variety of gameplay styles, and so seeing focus on some of those like more sideline modes in terms of what you commonly see at events, I think is really cool to showcase. And Rizuru is really strong at this game, and it's going to be a great showcase. That is going to be a really strong addition to our Sonic block. And
Rizuru was the one with the duck VTuber, right?
I think it was a
so.
Goose.
Oh, Goose. My bad. I am so sorry.
But regardless, yeah, this is going to be a great run. And these two Sonic games are going to be a great way to transition into not just another Sonic game, but our first bonus game of the event is going to be Sonic CD Restored by Drive-In. Sonic CD is my favorite classic Sonic game, and this is a mod that I believe what it does is it modifies the PC versions of the game to bring back the some of the like shortcuts that were in the Genesis's original level design that were taken out of future versions of the game. So it's a way to kind of experience that version of the game with some of the quality of life enhancements from the newer versions, which includes playing as Tails. We already had another Sonic game earlier where we were playing as we have a lot of weird characters in our Sonic games this time around, for sure, which I think is a really fun theme. And again, this is my favorite classic Sonic game, so I'm absolutely super pumped to show it off as the end of our main Sonic block.
Yeah, and as we draw our Sonic block to a close, we're coming up on another game that I'm really looking forward to. It's one that I played a decent bit as a kid. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Dust off your kick flips and Mick twist as we go for all goals and golds with another new runner to the Fast Furs lineup, Party Man X. I thought they were. My bad.
I'm not 100%. I know we've had, I believe, the remake of 1+2 in the past. I don't remember who ran it. But yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, definitely classic, definitely strong run. Definitely, yeah, you kind of said it all. It's got a lot to it in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And we're super excited to show this off.
Now from something new to something potentially seen. I mean, I've kind of heard of this game.
We've maybe had it a couple times. It has been a while for Tunic, though. We definitely showed it off a lot around the first year of the game's release, but it has been a bit quiet for us since then. So we're super happy to have Silent Destroyer with 100% no major glitches. We've definitely collected a lot of things in this game on this channel before, but 100% will be new to us. And this category has a lot to it. No major glitches means you see a very large variety of glitches still. And 100%ing a game in just over an hour is never a small feat. And you can also choose the color that you want the fox to be. Overall, this run is going to be amazing. This game is always amazing. And Silent Destroyer, it's going to be no different.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, you like Ori, don't you?
Yeah.
I think Ori is a pretty good game. Especially the first one, but we're not talking about the first one today. We're actually talking about the second one, which we haven't featured yet.
Yeah, we featured Blind Forest, I believe, at least twice on this channel.
At least.
But we've never had this game.
Now we need to show people what this looks like. And I remember playing this against JD Puppy and having a really good time with it. I still need to finish it, but oh my god, I'm struggling with how to pronounce the runner's name. I'm sorry.
That's Flap for you.
Yeah. Flap is going to show off the any percent no out of bounds category for us, in what is surely going to be a very, very fun run. I just love Ori. Ori is cute.
Ori is very cute, and yeah, this game definitely expands a lot on the first game in a way that doesn't make the first game look obsolete at all, but is definitely going to be a treat if you haven't seen it. And moving on from this game, we have a very fun one. We have Vanny Van with Adventure of Rika: The Cursed Kingdom, a game that describes itself as a Newtopia-like on its Steam page. So you have a lot of... I'm not familiar with Newtopia myself.
Me neither, admittedly.
But this is a game that's just super strong. There's a lot of... Sorry. Hold on.
Words. They're so hard.
Yeah, sorry. It's a really strong run, for sure. Vanny's going to be taking us through a very puzzle-focused, so kind of strategic, but still thrilling adventure. And... Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some issues on my end. But yeah, this game is really strong. So it's got a lot of tactics, a lot of strategy, a lot of puzzle. But we're still doing a lot of fighting and a lot of adventuring. Just a lot of classic, like, old game stuff, but kind of translated to a much newer time. And I'm super excited to have this run because it's a treat, really. It's a game that you might not have heard of, but you absolutely should see.
Yeah. I know one thing that I've really been liking that we've been having over the last few years is the fact that we've always had like some sort of like rhythm showcase block, and we're actually going to be transitioning into one of those right after this run. So
Yeah.
we're going to be starting off with Ellie showcasing Sound Voltex Exceed gear. I assume there's going to be some sort of song list that we're going to have, and it's going to be really awesome. And we're very excited to bring you all this.
Yeah, the Arcade Rhythm Sphere is a sphere with a lot of really cool games. If you haven't seen this game, it has 6 buttons and 2 knobs to control the game. So it's a lot of really funny-looking hand movement that's going to just wow you a lot if you haven't seen this game before. And I'm super excited to have it, especially near the end of the day. It's going to be a very thrilling ride to close us out of Friday, especially with our final game of the night and our second rhythm game in a row. We will have Beatmania 2DX. This game has, I believe, 7 buttons and a turntable in a really interesting button layout that's kind of like a piano almost. So pressing buttons that fast, you definitely, again, see a lot of really cool hand movement, but also just a lot of really impressive dexterity to know what buttons you have to press in time. Beatmania is known for having a lot of, like, a very large variety of music, especially. So it's definitely not going to be something that stops or that slows down at all.
And then, if that isn't enough, there's going to be an incentive for the 7th Dan Showcase.
Yeah, so that's just more rhythm games right there. That's just more fun for us right there to end off the night.
Make us go longer!
Yes! All right, and so with that, we will now be done with our Friday portion of the showcase and heading into our final part of the stream. Once Saturday, 10 a.m. hits, we will be running the stream nonstop all the way to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on Sunday, November 24th. So that's 26 different games over the span of 36 hours. Here to help me talk about the first part of these games, we have Pods. How are you doing?
Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I'm doing very well, thanks.
All right. Well, then, do you want to kick us off with the first game of Sunday or Saturday?
Yeah, sure. So first off, we got Portal 2. This is a really cool puzzle game that I tried. It's Latorb, or lateral or whatever. But yeah, hi. This is Portal 2. We're just going to be basically going from the end of the game and just going to make our way right back to the beginning.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun showcase. Infrared has shown us this game on the channel before, but now we're going to be doing it backwards. So it's definitely going to be a game that you might be familiar with, played in a way that you do not know at all, which is a super exciting time. And speaking of super exciting times, 72 hours is a lot of time. A lot of time to be excited. We are going to be going through 72-hour mode of the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster with Juho, a game that is known for its brilliant mix of being a very serious and intense game, and also one of the funniest things you might have ever seen on your screens, as well as having a lot of zombies. Like, a lot of zombies. It's
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Shasta will probably explain this game better than I can, but yeah, this is really cool.
Someone say Shasta explaining a game?
Yeah, I was told to talk about this one a little bit. So my brother runs this game a lot, not the remaster, but like the original, and like I know it very well. Remaster adds some really cool things, such as its ability to speed up time as well too, which I love a lot. And of course, yeah, horror game, but it like a lot of zombies and all that stuff. But it's also very goofy, and that's why people love Dead Rising. This is a really good remaster, really cool run as well too. Gio spent a lot of time running it recently as well. The costume choice is also cool because all the DLC costumes in the game, there's a lot of very funny ones. Trust me on that one. You can play as like Tronbot, you can play as like some sort of like sea monster, like creature from Black Lagoon sort of deal, I think. It's like a bunch of really wild ones like that, by a bunch of Capcom references that I know like vaguely, but yeah, it's great. This game rules. This run rules, don't miss it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And moving on to our next game, we have a game that Pods, I know you definitely are very familiar with. We have Super Mario Odyssey.
This brings back memories. Alright, so yeah, this is Super Mario Odyssey. We're going to be going to probably the biggest transition of all time. This is All Story Moons from Cheesy. Now, she's a really good runner of the game, really cool, and has actually beaten the entirety of Mario Odyssey damageless before, which is a really huge accomplishment only 5 people have ever done before.
That is... wow. Wow. This run is really fun. It's going to be taking us through all the story moons, so not just doing the bosses every kingdom, but also doing every part of the story, even the weird side-off parts that some categories might skip, we get to see them. So it's a really cool way to show just about as much as you can while still collecting as few moons as possible. Which I think is a really cool dynamic, especially considering how much is in this game, that you still get to see even when you're collecting like an eighth of the moons in it. But speaking of a game all about collecting things that we are going to be doing a lot of, we're going to be doing very fast. It is going to be Pokemon. In this case, we have Blood Dirge with Legends Arceus. This game is incredibly unique for the Pokemon series, combining standard battling with some stealth aspects, general open world exploration, and a really interesting story with 2 sides that we will get to pick between in a bid war. That I'm super excited for this run. Pokemon is a game with a lot of really fun furry creatures that we haven't seen much on the stream, so getting a game, especially one this new, I'm super excited for.
Oh yeah, it's Sam. I'm all for this run getting in, and this is also some extra hype for the new Pokemon Legends ZA coming out at some point later next year or something.
Yeah, I can't wait for more details on that. And this run is a great way to relive the game if you maybe haven't played it in 2 years, and want to make sure you remember what it's about going into the new game. So make sure you check this one out. And I did mention this game has a lot of cute little creatures, but who is a cuter and littler creature than Kirby? We do have a Kirby block here starting off with Kirby's Dream Land 3, Any Percent by Glitch Aston. And Kirby's Dream Land 3 is one of my favorite Kirby games. It has a very unique art style to it that's sort of like a crayon in a coloring book. And this run especially takes very good use of the animal friends, especially Coo, to make Kirby's default movement, even without copy abilities, really fast. Obviously, the copy abilities are still useful, and you're going to see several of them, but the animal friends are the real star of the show here in a way that's a lot of fun and pretty different from a lot of Kirby runs, so make sure you check this one out. And moving on in our Kirby block, we have another game that's seen as pretty different from the rest of the series. We have Beam Queen Soul with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, all goal games. So we're not going to see just the 8 bosses in this game. We're also going to be taking a lot of secret paths to play some of the mini games that you can find throughout the game, which includes a lot more of the map. This game has a really, really big map, and sometimes that leads to a lot of dead ends. So seeing a game like this navigated so well is super impressive, and Soul has done a good job for us before and is really strong at this game. With an incentive to see the boss endurance as well, so a rush of all the bosses in the game. This run is super fun, and I can't wait for this run for our Kirby block. But we do still have one more game in the Kirby block. Pods, if you want to talk to us about Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Oh, this is a really cool game with ton of very fast, really consistent, but really well played movement inside it. Yeah, this is Kirby's Epic Yarn. Gonna be running Any Percent with Mantiplant.
Yeah, Mantiplant is one of the strongest runners of this game, and it's a game that... It's one of those games that's small. There's a lot of small things to keep track of, and Manta is, again, one of the best at doing that, so you're going to see a really strong showcase here, and this game is just super cute, but still super interesting. I can't wait for this game to be run. Unfortunately, that is the end of our Kirby block, but we do get to move from a game with a craft aesthetic. Craft has a lot of paper, so does playing cards. We are going to have Balatro as our next game on the schedule after our Kirby block. Pods and I have both played this game a lot.
Yeah, we are fairly addicted to it. Okay, so yeah, Balatro. This is a poker roguelike, and if anyone has never seen this game, you are yeah. The point is like anything you can make a game, it always has to turn into a roguelike.
Of course. But yeah, Balatro is a roguelike with a lot of variance, a lot of luck, but also a lot of skill. Leif will be taking us through 3 of the game's 15 decks, which the decks do change how the game is played pretty drastically. And yeah,
sure
this...
it's Plasma, like the Plasma deck. I don't remember the other decks.
I think it's Plasma, Checkered, and Abandoned are usually
yeah,
the
it's Plasma,
fastest,
Checkered, Abandoned. Yeah,
but we might see something else. I'm not sure, but those are the 3 that I believe are the most common. But yeah, this run is going to be a treat because this game is pretty like variant. There's a lot of ways to get really strong builds in this game. So make sure you check this one out if you've played the game, or even if you haven't, you're probably bound to find it interesting and a lot of fun. Moving on, we have a really, really sweet 3D platformer with Frogun Encore. A game all about using your frog gun, as a grappling hook and swinging yourself all over the place. I can't... words can't do this game justice. This is a game you have to see for sure. And you can donate for more of it, the Secret Lab bonus level, but this game is definitely a treat. You have a lot of really interesting interactions with walls. You can latch onto pretty much any wall and shoot yourself over to it, and that can allow you to do massive skips in a lot of levels. That makes it super entertaining. The Hellfridge is going to be absolutely killing this one. And speaking of massively entertaining games based around really interesting movement, heading into Midnight Sunday, we have Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom by Forest, who just a few months ago absolutely killed this run on the GDQ stage and is going to be bringing it here for another show. This run, you play as a wind-up car, and because of that, it's a 3D platformer collectathon where jumping is like different than usual, moving fast is different than usual. It's a game that definitely is, you have to see it, because I can say that, oh, you have to jump in a weird way, but what does that mean? It's a game that definitely I recommend watching, especially if you know nothing about it, because your socks will be blown off.
Oh yeah, I will also say, I heard this game that was described. I'm just gonna like repeat it, just because it was like such an interesting thing that pulled me in. It was described as Super Mario Odyssey crossed with Crazy Taxi. So if that doesn't appeal to you, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's definitely a wild run. And moving on to a run that's pretty wild for a pretty different reason from Yellow Taxi, we have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Our first Zelda game of this schedule, and my favorite Zelda game. M-Chan is going to be taking us through 100% of this run. So all the items, all the heart pieces, all of the hidden collectibles, which there's a lot of in this game. And you will be able to choose which tunic from the color dungeon M-Chan picks up, which we love a good color choice for our clothes. We love varied fashion. But yeah, this run has a lot of interesting tech that is pretty unique to this game, especially with some of the items like the Rock's Feather, which you don't see an item like that in most games. Allows for very unique strats that you don't see anywhere else. So we're super excited to have this run and have it be kind of the start of our overnight heading into Sunday. And another part of that is going to be great is going to be Tasamachi Behind the Twilight. You want to talk about this one, Pods?
Yeah. So this game is really cool. I believe it's like a platformer. I don't really know that much about this, but it's Sorry, you mind taking the?
Yeah, no worries. It's fine. It's a really strong 3D collectathon with a lot of really interesting movement abilities. Especially there's a point where you get an air dash, and combining the air dash with another move allows you to pretty much make your speed anything. It bypasses the game's speed cap, allowing you to make really long jumps or just go really long distances in a short amount of time. But even before you get that air dash, it's just a really sweet, really cozy 3D platformer with a lot of things to collect in a really short amount of time. Killing Pepsi is going to be taking us through that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we just talked about a game that is short but sweet. Let's talk about a game that is not at all short, but still definitely very sweet. We have Ciliath with Final Fantasy IX.
Yep. Probably one of the longer runs of the event. Final Fantasy IX is a really, really cool event, and we're going to be running with a cutscene remover, so unfortunately you will not be seeing any of the cutscenes, but it is still a huge game to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Bid Wars, so many characters to name. So you'll definitely have things to donate for all throughout the run, all night long. For those of you that like staying up late, we have a treat for you with this one.
Yep.
And I'm super excited.
Game's about 38 hours long usually, and you can cut it down to 4, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. So as we head through Final Fantasy IX and into Sunday morning, I want to thank you, Pods, for helping me with some of these games. But we are going to...
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. We're going to be revving up into the final day here. And to help me with that, we have Shasta. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. How about you?
Pretty good. You want to tell us about this next game?
Yeah, I like video games.
All right, tell us about the Goonies 2.
The Goonies 2 is an exploration sort of platformer. Very, very ahead of its time, I must say, in many ways. It's kind of cool because like you're supposed to go save all the Goonies, if I recall correctly. They're like imprisoned underground or something. I don't know the exact plot, but like that's my impression from watching the run at least. But the way to do that's sort of like a point and click adventure sort of way. Once again, those sections. So yeah, that to look forward to in like these little areas. And this run in particular is the main category of the game, Be No Out of Bounds. It's really awesome. It's very, very fast paced. Nice little retro run. We get a whole lot of retro runs submitted like this. I'm glad we got this one, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of really cool retro stuff this event. I agree. And
Yeah.
we do have a game that is not retro, but definitely has the style of it. Coming up after this, we have Mighty Gunvolt, the original, I believe, of the series that started it all.
Absolutely.
This game is great, and we're gonna
It's
have
very
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very Mega Man like in general. It's also just very fast. If I recall correctly, it came out right before Azure Striker Gunvolt. I want to say it was a free game or it was a very like cheap game. Either way, so a lot of people got this game and like it's a cool one. Very quick game. A lot of Mega Man like combat, but it also has its own thing, which is what Gunvolt is. It's sick.
Yeah, this is a run. This is a series we've had every now and then, and I'm super excited to have it back. And speaking
Also,
of,
we have a character choice bid war too, which is gonna be a lot of fun too. You got 3 different characters to play as.
yeah, absolutely. And speaking of games that are very big and very cool from a series that we've had before, but not a lot, we have Minecraft Dungeons. Shockwave will be taking us through the Blind Tower, which is like an online mode that switches every Sunday. So,
Yeah,
Shock will have
That's-
never seen this dungeon layout before.
which is why we're doing this run on Sunday morning in particular. Because yeah, the layout switches every Sunday, and like you literally have no time to practice like the actual layout or anything because you never seen it before. You just good at the game array, so that's all you need really. It's gonna be really great.
Yeah, this is a super exciting run, isometric action game, and I cannot wait for it. And
Also, the Smash Ultimate player in me has to say this, Steve.
this game will be a lot of fun. Coming up next, we have a game that will be a lot of fun and potentially a lot of laughs. Also, we have What the Car.
What the car?
What the Car? Made by the same people that made What the Golf, which was already notoriously silly. This game is a fast-paced 3D platformer where you play as a totally normal car. Nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about at all.
Nothing to worry about at all.
My car does
Yeah.
that too. It's fine.
Yeah, of course. I don't have a car, but if
Yeah.
I did, it would do that.
I mean, my
Um,
car definitely runs. That's for sure.
Yeah, but this game is definitely very technical, but also very goofy. If you're
Mhm.
here for laughs, it's a great time. But if you're here for just like impressive speedrunning, it's also a great time. This game is kind of the full package.
Honestly, though.
Yeah, so we're super excited to show it off. And speaking of games we're super excited to show off, we have another game that's a bit silly, but also a bit fast-paced and impressive in its movement. We have Pogo 3D.
This one rules.
Yeah, we have a pogo stick rage game, kind of.
Mhm.
I
thought it was pitched to us at least. It's like a sort of rage game where one of those games where if you fail, you have to go back a while, and but the run itself is really cool, and the runner too is also extremely good at this game to say the least. I think they're like third or something. I have a bunch of people on the leaderboards. Like it's gonna be a very impressive one. A lot of skips here and there using just the pogo stick, of course, and like there's some like going around like in the environment a little bit to skip past stuff. It's really sick. And you get to play as a Bliney, which is even better. You're Bliney hopping everywhere. It's great.
And yeah, no, this game is going to be great. And it's also not our only game right now where you have a fun animal on a really fun movement vehicle, I guess you could call it. Because coming up after this, we have Grapple Dogs Cosmic Canines with
Hell
shovel
yeah.
claws. I mean, it's in the name. You are our dog and you grapple. Doesn't that sound exciting? It is really exciting. The grapple
very
physics
good.
in this game allow for really fast and impressive strats in this game. And then you also have a second dog with an air dash that also has a gun. And overall, the
They're-
run is just super fast. It's
They're very fast, to say the least. And also, there's the incentive to pet the dogs at the beginning of every single level.
yeah, we want to
So-
pet dogs.
Yeah, don't miss that one. Trust me on that one. You want that incentive. We all know we love dogs. We love playing the dogs.
If you love
Good stuff.
dogs, this is a good run. Which that already covers everyone. I don't know what else. If you also
Okay.
like really fast and impressive 2D platformers, that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, this run is great. We're super excited to have it. And speaking of 2D platformers, what about the main man? What about the
Who?
main man Mario?
Who's that?
Um,
Oh, Mario from school. Okay.
yeah, from
I know
Schoolhouse.
him. Yeah.
So yeah, famed indie icon Mario is here to join us in New Super Mario Bros. 2 by Ghost T. This is a pretty fun run. A lot of the New Super Mario Bros. Games are really interesting because you're just trying to... Mario doesn't have anything that's necessarily too, like, breakneck, which leads to these runs being very optimized at high levels, and the popularity of the games definitely helps that. We have
And can
Ghost T...
confirm too that this run's also been very optimized as well, because Ghost Key is currently top 10 leaderboards out of like I think 250 people or something, which is extremely impressive to say the least. This run's extremely optimized, and this run should be doing very well when we get to them for sure. No pressure, but yeah.
No pressure, but yeah.
It's gonna be a very impressive run to say the least. Very
Yeah, you're gonna
experienced runner at this game.
you're going to see some Mario mastery in a game that gets forgotten at times. New Super Mario Bros. Is a series that I think is really hard to make like unfun, and the same is true of the speedruns.
We love New Soup.
Shout out to New Soup. Moving
Yeah.
on from New Soup, though, we have Old Soup, kind of.
We have
medicine a soup?
doctors. It could be a soup.
We have Dr.
Dr.
Mario.
Soup.
Dr. Soup.
yes.
We have Dr. Soup. Ramsey will be taking us through the SNES version of
I'm so
Dr.
excited
Mario
about
here
this.
with a
I
bid
love
war
Dr.
choice for the
Mario.
music, which is always the most important part of the Dr. Mario game. Dr.
Mhm.
Mario is a really fun puzzle game. I'm a big fan of Dr. Mario, and seeing it played well is always a treat. And Ramsey's definitely going to be doing us a good job on
Yeah, I love
clearing
this
up those
game
viruses.
especially. Like especially the SNES version, it's got very, very nice music to say at least, very comfy run, and just overall like the skill level is extremely palpable. You can really see the skill level when it comes to any like puzzle game speed run. This one's definitely no exception. Go 0 through 20 as well is literally like pretty much all the levels at that point. It's be a very good run. Y'all don't want to miss this one, trust me. We love
Absolutely.
we love puzzle speed runs.
Yeah, and moving on to a game that we've definitely all love, and we've definitely shown off again in the past, but it's been a while, so we're happy to have it back. We have Metroid Dread.
Metroid Heckin' Dread. Love this game. Oh my gosh. Love Metroid Dread. So, all bosses in the category this time around. Normally in 8% of the game, you skip a few of the bosses by just sequence breaking. It's really cool. Or 8% of major glitches, I mean, in this case. But in this case, if all bosses are major glitches, you get to fight all of them, which you don't see all of them normally. So, do love that. That has some cool routing to it. JM has run this game before for us, and they're very, very good at the game, to say the least. Very excited for it once again. Always love Metroid Dread.
Absolutely, and
Hey.
I'm getting some radio signals.
Hey guys.
Yeah?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have something very important to say.
Yeah?
Laura, you were talking about how art is really the backbone of the fandom, and everybody loves art.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes you just want to be able to paint up a hammer and just whack someone in the head with it, like you
Uh-huh.
probably want to do to me right now. Anyway,
Always,
let's talk about Final Fantasy 14.
please tell us about Final
So-
Fantasy 14. I would love to draw a hammer and hit someone with it.
So we did have a Final Fantasy 14 speedrun last year, but this time it's going to be different. Last year we ran you through all of the Heavensward dungeons. This year, not only are we running you through the Shadowbringers dungeons, which is the other critically acclaimed expansion for Final Fantasy 14, we're actually going to be doing it as a whole brand new class, new to Dawn Trail, the Pictomancer, which just does absolutely silly damage. And yes, you get to draw a hammer and whack things in it the head with it. It's very funny. and Lord Fluffy is coming back to do it, and I am very excited for this speed run. I'm sorry, that's all I had to say. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Thank you. I'm very excited. For those who don't remember, Lord Fluffy in the category they ran last year got world record in the event. So, not saying it needs to happen again, but we're looking at somebody with a lot of skill and time into this game, and this showcase
and
knowledge, yeah. And this run is sure to be great. And speaking of people we know have a lot of skill and knowledge and time in their game, we have the fortunate opportunity of talking to the person right now running the next game. So, Shasta, why don't you tell us a bit about this game?
Oh, wow. Well, I got this game for Christmas 2007. I've played it a lot since then. That's all I know. But yeah, honestly, I've run Fan Hourglass a lot. It's a bit of a longer run, but trust me, it's a really cool one to say the least. It's where to start this one? Okay, it's got a lot of movement to it, which is great because he's only the touchscreen the whole time. Know that the first half of the run is like a lot of movement. The second half of the run is like a lot of just glitches and stuff. It gets very broken by the time we get there. And like, there's some big sequence breaks here and there. There's some really cool, just like tricks you'll see a lot throughout the game. A lot of boat jumping. You jump in the boat a lot. It's pretty cool.
I love jumping in the boat.
I briefly held the record in this game earlier this year, but since then it's been beaten. I need to go back at some point and take it. I might do some runs before then just to do that. We'll see. But yeah, this game's awesome. It's probably the game I spent the most time on before I started speedrunning in general, I'd say, because I did many playthroughs of this game growing up, to say the least. Very good game. I love Fan Hourglass a lot. Hope you like it too.
Well, we're super excited to have it. I'm super excited for this one a lot.
Shout out to Nintendo DS. Love Nintendo DS.
Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
And coming up after this game, as we head into the end of the event, I'm super excited for this next one. It's time for another bonus game. And what a bonus game we have. We have Helix running Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. The newest Monkey Ball game. I believe the first Monkey Ball game with new stages in like a very long time. This game is incredible. Monkey Ball is always incredible, and this game definitely matches up to some of the older games that people have a lot of nostalgia for. Combining a lot of tricky and a lot of fun stages with the new spin dash mechanic, which lets you get bursts of speed in places you otherwise wouldn't. This game definitely takes the series in a really fun direction, and Helix is one of the best at it and will absolutely be tearing through all 10 main worlds of the game. I can't wait for this run, and I hope you guys can't either.
Yeah, this game rules. I played it when it came out. It's such a fun time, and Helix is, to say at least, extremely good at Monkey Ball.
Absolutely.
She's gonna absolutely kill it this run. You don't want to miss it. Yeah, like Lauren said, the Spanish mechanic especially just breaks like every stage in the game, pretty much, for the most parts. And like, if you play the game casually, this run will not function the way that you probably play it casually. That's all I know. It's great. It's absolutely awesome. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Game
and
good.
Game very good. And speaking of very good games, we have one more for this event, and you already know it's going to be amazing. It is the game you all love to see run. We have Finn W with Super Metroid, the original.
We had New Soup 2 earlier. Now we got Souptroid, baby. Let's go.
Souptroid! Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the classic. Super Metroid always has been one of the most like impressive runs for a very long time. And we've shown off a lot of really fun things with Super Metroid, from randomizers to ROM hacks, but I believe only once had the original. So the ability to bring it.
We've never had the original as a vanilla run before. It's always been a randomizer.
Never had it. Oh wow.
Yeah. This is the first time it's ever been a vanilla run. We're very excited to have it, to say the least. Hopefully, have more of this in the future, because everyone loves Super Metroid, and I love Super Metroid. I'm a big Metroid fan over here.
Absolutely. This run always incredible. Finn really strong at this game too.
Oh yeah.
So it's absolutely going to be an amazing showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And
another case where the runners has a very good time in the game. So we're having high expectations. We'll see what happens, but just know it's gonna be a very, very fun, entertaining run. Either way, it's gonna be great.
It's
And of
going
course-
to be strong.
And of course, you have the classic save or kill the animals bid war right at the end because you just gotta.
gotta. Although I think we know what our general stance is here.
We'll see.
But with that being said, that is the full schedule for Fastest First Fall Fest 2024. Thank you all so much for coming to the reveal. You have just under a month before the event starts. The event starts again November 21st. So if you're in the event, you better get practicing. If you're not in the event, you better start shouting out to everyone you know. Tell your mom. Maybe don't. You can. I won't stop you. But
Do it.
yeah, for sure. We're super excited for this event. Obviously, every event we do is exciting, and the only thing we can try and do is to make sure that every event is more and more exciting than the last. And I think we're doing it this time. Absolutely. This is an amazing team, and we're super excited to show you what we've got. Also, just as a quick reminder, this reveal didn't talk about the backup games, but those were revealed at the same time as our games list. So if you're on the backup list, also make sure you get practicing. Also make sure you get, you're ready, because we may need you when the time comes. But yeah, this schedule is going to be amazing. I'm super excited for the event, and thank you all so much for coming to this reveal.